It is amazing action coming up. We are about to start with the Elite Women Final. And in that final we have Bagnoli, Rosa, Van Eersel and Michele Sol. It's going to be crazy.
Who's going to take it here? We've got all of the people on the beach, the spectators, the riders, this beautiful opening ceremony which is taking place right now, celebrating everything Brazilian. 2 Brazilians in the final, Baz, in both the men's. Oh, actually, sorry, there's 3 Brazilians in the final. 2 men, 1 lady. 2 ladies and 2 men.
Exactly. Here, a nice opening ceremony dance here in front of Douro Beach, where we're having the event the past week.
What must the riders be thinking then? Just out of the side of your screens, they are warming up. They will be spoken to briefly before they head out onto the waters there. There you can see the lovely warm waters of Cambuco, and we see the riders now coming out for the opening ceremony. There is Estefania Rosa, Brazilian. She'll be very happy to be in the finals. Just behind her, Michele Sol, the young Brazilian rider who's ranked 1 at the moment. There's Aduri Corniel, Dominican Republic rider. And it's nice to see this special moment with all the riders coming out. The 2 other Brazilians in the men, there's Carlos Mario and Eric Anderson.
Yeah, very nice to see Eric Anderson in this final. And also I would say Pippa van Eersel, who is has been riding very strong in the qualifiers and also in the elite league. But now here in this final, and here we see all the 8 finalists enjoying this opening ceremony. Looks super happy, I would say.
Yeah, we've got 8 riders there, 4 girls, 4 men, 50% are Brazilian. What a moment this must be. Very much enjoying it. There is Estefania Rosa, just to the right-hand side, who's dancing away. And in the ladies' final, 2 of the riders we weren't expecting to make the final have done, as you mentioned. Pippa van Eersel from the Netherlands and the local rider, Estefania Rosa, has made it. In the men, as you can expect, Carlos Mario, ranked number 1, the Brazilian. He is in the finals. Eric Anderson, he's also in there, the Brazilian rider who's pushed his way all the way up through the qualies and made it, and joining them as well. Very good riders in Aduri, Corniel and Liam Whaley.
Yeah, so shortly we're going to Gemma, who is on the beach with the 4 finalists. It will be Francesca Bagnoli, Estefania Rosa, Pippa van Eersel and Michele Sol.
All right, here we are with our 4 female finalists. Francesca Bagnoli from Italy. This is your 3rd final this year.
In a row, yeah. I'm pretty happy and conditions are great and I hope to do my best and I can't wait to compete with these 3 amazing girls.
You've had an amazing result. You've secured yourself a spot on the podium for the overall title this year. How good does that feel for you?
Well, I'm super happy because last year I got 3rd and now, yeah, all my works are,
You're working your way up slowly, yeah?
So I'm pretty happy, I'm super happy about that.
A message for your Italian followers, because I know you have so many.
Yeah, grazie ragazzi, vedo sempre tutti in live e vedo tutti i vostri commenti, quindi vi mando un bacione, Forza Italia.
Thank you so much, Francesca. You can go get your stuff ready. We'll see you on the water. Pippa van Eersel from the Netherlands. You've had an amazing event here. It's your first final with us. How good do you feel being here?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's amazing. And yesterday I went to bed and I was already so happy to be in the final.
Are you nervous?
Well, I couldn't sleep that well, I have to say. And I was a little bit nervous before, but now it's releasing a bit, so that's good.
Well, Pippa, you're going to go for a big heart attack again, like the one we saw the other day?
For sure, yeah.
We'll be stoked to see that. So go get ready. We'll see you on the water, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pippa. Stefania Rosa, you have done amazing in this event. You're the wild card. You came up all the way through the qualifiers, and you've made it all the way to the finals here in your home in Cumbuco. How happy are you?
I'm very happy. I can't explain how I feel, you know. And I'm just super happy. I have no words, you know. Seeing all this presentation, the culture on the beach, that make me so inspired.
Any message you want to say to the people following us at home?
I want to thank you, everybody that been watching. I've been receiving a lot of messages. I want to thank everybody in the world and keep watching because we still have the final right now.
Good luck, Stefania. Go get ready and we'll see you on the water. Thank you. Okay, and she's already our world champion. Okay, this is a big thing, Mika. You're 14 years old. It's been an incredible year. You're going now to hopefully win this event as well. How happy are you right now?
I'm super, super happy. This year I really just wanted to be in the top 3, and now I like basically won the entire comp, and I just want to do my best in this heat and like prove to everyone that I can do like so much more than I did in every other competition.
All right, Mika, well, good luck. I hope you do really well, and we'll see you right after your heat.
Thank you.
Guys, good luck to all those female finalists, and let's go ahead and watch all the action. Thank you.
Nice to hear the riders there talking about how they feel before we go into this final, Baz. They look quite confident, all of them, no nerves there. And it won't be long now until we see them on the water.
Yeah, they are ready, I would say, for this elite women final here in Cumbuco, Brazil for the World Kiteboarding Championships. And we are about to finish the opening ceremony, and we are going to have a look at this beautiful place here, Cumbuco.
One of the homes of kiteboarding, certainly freestyle kiteboarding, it is, Baz. And it's the consistent winds that we have here, the nice warm waters, the flat water spots. I mean, look, it's just lovely here. Sand dunes everywhere. It's the picture perfect place. And kiteboarders from all around the world are coming here to practice their skills.
Yeah, definitely. Amazing sand dunes where you can see you can do some sandboarding if you don't want to be on the water. And the lagoons here are amazing. Like here you can see, this is the home of Carlos Mario Bebe, one of the biggest names in kiteboarding. And yeah, through those dunes, you just follow them downwind and you end up in this beautiful place, Lagoa de Cawipi.
Lovely town. It is all about kiteboarding here, and it has been producing some of the best kiteboarders in a long time. So we go back to the beach here now. There is the timer on the board. 3 minutes and a half, Baz. I'm getting nervous for this final now.
Yeah, this is giving us some time to have a look at the previous event, Lewis.
Yeah, certainly we've seen some great events so far this year in both Turkey and Morocco. And out the front at the moment, it's been the Brazilians in both fields. Lovely place it was in Morocco. And there's your lady there, Michaeli Sol, who had no problems taking top spot in Morocco with some solid riding.
Yeah, definitely. And also Bebe showed some amazing tricks in Dakhla, Morocco, and grabbed first place again together with Michaeli Sol.
Those two just look unstoppable. 2 minutes 50 away from this first ladies final. What a moment it must be, Baz, to be Brazilian on your home turf. It's the final event of the year. You know you're already world champion, and all you can do now is go and express yourself. Do you think she really wants to win this, Michaeli Sol?
I think so. She's such a young rider. She only wants to be on the water and be able to win heats. And let's have a look at those 4 competitors in this elite women final.
As we mentioned, 2 of them might not have expected to be there in Van Eersel and Rosa. Rosa is the Brazilian rider who's made her way all the way through the qualifiers here to just to get into the final on its own. And Pippa Van Eersel from the Netherlands in her first final as well. Bagnoli and Sol, respectively, are used to being in these finals. And Bagnoli pushed her very close in Morocco, just 0.1 away from equaling her score in the final, Baz.
Yes. Yeah, very close heat here, the previous heats on the water. And as you can see, Francesca Bagnoli from Italy, Stefania Rosa from Brazil, Pip van Eersel from the Netherlands, and Michaeli Sol also from Brazil. As Lewis, you were mentioning before, 50% is from Brazil.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And that really just tells its own story, that it's not just football they specialise in, Baz, it's kiteboarding as well. So it would be amazing if we could get 2 of those riders in the top 3, but we'll wait to find out. Now, we just want to explain how this is going to work here. The riders are going to get 4 tacks, that's 4 back and forwards to do their tricks for the judges. They don't want to take too long, or they might risk a yellow card or even a red card. They
have about a minute to perform a trick.
That's correct. And they will get 7 trick attempts, Baz. Their best 4 tricks will count to their total score, which is a total of out of 40 possible, which they can get.
Yeah, so less than a minute to go. We see here Pippa van Eersel warming up before she goes in her first final here on the World Kiteboarding Championships.
And it will be Bagnoli who starts us off, followed by Rosa, then Van Eersel and Mika Sol. It's always interesting to think about the order which the riders go in. Of course, the riders that have done better in the competition so far will be lower down the order. So they get to watch the other riders' scores, especially more important on the last 7th trick. They already know that the other riders have finished their trick attempts and can adjust their they're riding accordingly.
Yeah, so the judges are looking for handle passes and rotations with the kite performed in a low position where they have a lot of speed in and speed out in the trick, and through the trick they need to travel to the air. The further they travel to the air and the height they get, the higher the score will be.
These kite surfing kites generate a lot of pull through the bodies of the riders, and they will be physically unhooking themselves. There you see a great shot of Francesca Bagnoli. She's hooked into that kite. It's not about strength, this sport of hanging onto it. Her hands there, fingertips are just on the bar. The power comes through the core of the body where we're attached to the kite. But to perform these moves they'll be judged on, they physically unhook themselves out to pass the bar behind their back. And that looks like Francesca Bagnoli heading out to sea now, the Italian, to open her account. Nice takeoff and a very sick backside 313 to start off, Baz.
Yeah, that is a great start here for Francesca Bagnoli from Italy. Backside 313 here in the replay, going for that rally and that backside 360 and landing it here. Beautiful with two hands on the bar again.
Yeah, that would be the perfect start for the Italian, and she'll be hoping to cause an upset here. And she gets a 6.13, so a very good start from her as we now move over to Stefania Rosa, the Brazilian, who gets to go second. Bagnoli having to start this sequence as she came second in the semi-final. You'll notice that Sol starts fourth here, which is the best position you can start in as she won that semi.
Yeah, she won that semi, and she won that semi quite easily, I would say. But you never know how she's going to feel here in this final, and it's up to Rosa to perform her second trick. We've seen a backside 3-on-3 from Francesca Bagnoli that scored a 6.13. These riders have 7 trick attempts, so they can crash actually 3 times and still be able to win the heat.
Turning around then, she comes to left foot forwards now, is Stefania Rosa with that yellow Cabrina kite with the orange and black control bar. The very tanned body of the local rider with the white rash vest riding in.
This is Stefania Rosa, her first final here on the World Kiteboarding Championships, going for a 3-1-3.
Nice and clean. Not super powered, Baz, but it's going to score reasonably well that as well. So tentative start to this one. Look at that, nice Rayleigh position. Just getting things going cleanly. Very experienced almost, finding herself in this is, I think, her first event of the year, Baz.
Yes.
And she's in the finals, top 4. 4.9 then, didn't score quite high as Bagnoli's move that we saw. It was on the different tack, but it was deemed not as powered, but she's still got a good score on the board. Here comes Pippa van Ursel from the Netherlands, very powered rider.
Yeah, she surprised us and did an insane hard attack over a kicker. There she goes out. Doesn't look that powered on that kite there, but still be able to pull out the proper backside 3-on-3.
Yeah, very good start from all these ladies so far, and they're all putting tricks on the board. The nice thing about getting the tricks in early is that they're allowed to build their heat. They can afford to go a bit more, push the boundaries a bit at the end. Nice landing for her, and that's going to score reasonable. Don't think it's going to score as high as Bagnoli's. It'll score well, but 6.13.
Exactly the same score.
Exactly the same, actually. Yes, they deemed that to be the same. As on the beach there is some of the coaches, and they're looking at all these scores on their phones, and they're able, it's very interactive this. On the beach we have these big screens, and all these riders know when it's their turn, their name comes up on the boards, and they know when it's their turn. So left foot forwards then, the number 1 comes in. What do you think she's going to start with here, Baz?
She's probably going to start with, I would say, a hard attack.
Yeah.
Or maybe also with the backside 3-on-3. I'm not sure what her tactics are, if she really feels the pressure here. It looks like she feels the pressure because she is going for her 3rd tack. As Lewis was explaining before, these riders have 4 tacks, so going out, coming in, going out, and coming in again. So let's see how she's going to use these tacks.
Accelerating now, right foot forward. So I've got the feeling, there goes the hand off the bar. The body language tells me she's going to change direction onto her final tack. Interesting to look at her heat averages over the year, 35.19 in Turkey, then dropped slightly to a 34.52 in Morocco. More interestingly for me, Baz, she's down to 28.97 in Brazil, but is she just saving the energy for the final? Here she goes, unhooking, bears off downwind, nice takeoff here, and it's a heart attack to start things off, Baz. That's going to be the highest trick score we've seen so far in this ladies' final.
Definitely. Beautiful opening here from Mika. And that is definitely going to move her immediately into first place here. There nice you see it. The S-bend with the backside 3-on-3. Makes it a hard attack.
7.57 then. That is a nice scorer for Mika. She'll be very happy with that as we now... There's a kite swap on the beach here, Baz. It's 16 to 19 knots coming in, so most likely changing up a size there is Francesca Bagnoli. Yep, that's an 11 meter that she's now riding, and it looks to me like a 9 was removed. So
Yeah.
it's great these riders can react to the winds. Winds are always changing, they're coming up and down, and riders need suitable amount of power. The bigger, larger size kites that they have, the more power they generate. As the wind picks up, they tend to ride smaller kites. So we've got a sort of medium breeze blowing today. 16 to 19 knots for Francesca Bagnoli. What can she add to her count as she dives her blue, red and turquoise duotone Vegas down out to sea to generate some power?
Yeah, she is on the 11 meter now, so that means like the wind might be slightly dropping, but I would say it's ideal conditions. She told me before 11 meter is one of her favorite freestyle kites, so I think this is going to be a banger of a trick that she's going to perform now.
Left foot forwards now she comes. The right-hander from Italy, very tall lady, has done very well this year. Currently occupies second position on the tour. Riding towards the beach. Looks like there she goes. Unhooking from the kite now. Decent takeoff. Going for the slim. Bit of a bounce out, but controlled that
Still holding
landing
it
very
there.
well, Baz.
Yes.
I don't think she'll be deducted any points. There's the boyfriend on the beach, Gian Maria Coccaluto, who looks very happy about that. Here's the replay, Baz.
There she goes for that forward rotation. Also,
The front side pass. Should be happy with that.
stomping that landing actually, and I think that, yeah, definitely, as you can see, the judges like that rotation. Scoring a 7, what will give her a good start of her, her final here on Tombuco, Brazil, here at the World Kiteboarding Championships, the Super Kite, the last event of the year. In this heat, we have the world champion Michaeli Sol, who is only 14 years old.
14? That's amazing, isn't it? What a future she has ahead of her. Right now, next to Trick, Estefania Rosa. Currently occupies 4th in this heat, but remember, all the riders haven't completed 4 tricks. Things change. Takes off there, controlled. Oh, backside 3 on 3, but just ends up in the drink, Baz. That one's not going to score.
That's definitely not going to score. That is a crash for the local rider here, what keeps her in 4th place. But as we have been saying quite a lot, it's still early in the heat. These riders have 7 trick attempts, and this was the 2nd trick attempt of Estefania Rosa. She has 5 more attempts left to complete her total score.
Here's Van Ursel up next. Left foot forwards, coming straight towards us here. Nice takeoff. It's the hinted mode from her. Very well controlled. Nice kite position here, Baz. Just to remind you, the kite position is what the judges are looking for as well. A lower kite scoring more points. Speed in and out of the tricks really helps, and also clean landings. And she's ticked all the boxes with that move for me, Baz.
Definitely keeping the bar close to her hip, and there it goes for that roll into that Hinterberger mob. Nice landing there from
7.1. Great score.
That is a great score, and that is definitely moving her to 1st place here in this final.
Great move from Van Ursel. Next up, it's Sol, the world champion from Brazil, the 14-year-old with the orange and blue bar there.
Is she going for that slim chance?
I think so. She may well be. Great score from Van Ursel there. He's building this heat lovely. She is capable of big scores. She's got an 8.47 for KGB in Morocco. Will she unleash that again? She's building this heat nicely, though.
Yeah, she's definitely getting more and more confident throughout the year. Like in the first event, you could see that she needed a bit more, like, I don't know, confidence, like a bit more belief in herself. But now she's able to land those tricks in finals.
And that's the difference between the best and the very best, Baz, is landing it when it matters. This lady on your screen here can land any time of the day. It's going for a massive
No
slim
way!
5. Wow.
What an amazing trick. Slim 5. We haven't seen that one in the competition here yet. That's a great one.
The coach like that there on the beach, Fabio Ingrosso with the cap. Look at this. It starts off with a lovely front roll and then goes back against the front roll and into a front side rotation, and that was absolutely beautiful. Really good distance she traveled there. She pops into her tricks, really explosive. 9.2!
No way, a 9.2.
Wow.
That's moving her up to 1st position immediately.
Great score from her in her 2nd trick. But this lady here can push her. We've seen in Morocco, she can get the big scores. Is she up for it today? Here comes Bagnoli, unhooking out the back, going for
A heart attack, no
a
way.
heart attack's going to score nicely. And S-Bend with a backside 3 as partner Gianmaria Coccoluto looks on the beach. Good riding from Bagnoli. She's up for it today.
Yeah, not that high, not the same height as Michele Sol, but still pulling it around there. That last 180 there to get that heart attack in. Francesca Bagnoli is having a great heat, starting off with the backside 313, followed by a slim chance, and now this heart attack scoring a 7.2.
Wow, great score for her then, as we now move to Estefania Rosa for her third trick. There's been a lot of action already in this one. We've only seen 2 tricks from all the riders. Rosa could do the landing here. Just a reminder, she gets 3 crashes. Only 4 of her tricks will count, but it'd be nice to get another one on the board. This is going to be a Hintermobe, not super powered in and out of the trick, but held on to that landing very nicely. Just avoided her back touching the water, so there will be no way deductions on her landing there, Baz.
Now, as you were saying before, Lewis, as you can see here in the replay, kite position is pretty high, but still she's making it to that first roll and then going into wrap there, passing the bar.
Leaning back to get the tension back in the kite. 4.73 for Rosa. So the score's not quite as high as the other riders, and that will be the power in and out of the tricks that the judges feel isn't as impressive. But here's this lady, Pippa van Eersel.
And she can show some impressive moves. There she goes, taking off.
Going for just an S-bend to blind and a bit of a bounce out. So just looking to get, I think she's got a heart attack in her, Baz. So just a bit of a wobble from the Dutch rider there.
Looked pretty choppy there on the takeoff.
Yeah, and that's the thing which makes a big difference to these riders is the landing, the surface area, the takeoffs play such a big part, and also the landing area. And that's why on the ocean that we practice this sport of kiteboarding, it can be difficult to perform these tricks. 4.33, it was heavily deducted for that butt check.
Yeah, so the judges really look like how the riders are landing their trick. If they go in the trick with a lot of speed and also come out of the trick with a lot of speed, the score will be high. But if you get a little butt check or even your body goes into the water, yeah, the score will get lower.
Lovely view from the drone then, just above the Vegas kite of Mika Sol as the locals look on, wishing on their Brazilians. Lovely.
So at the moment in the lead, it's Francesca Bagnoli with 20.33. But very closely followed by Pippa van Eersel, 17.56. And we're still waiting for Michele Sol, third trick attempt. She only needs to score a 3.57 to grab first place again. And I'm sure she's able to do that.
Nice takeoff.
What a KGB, no way.
This could be a big scorer, Baz. I'm scared to even see the score coming in now. She is stepping it up like nothing else here. Look at the takeoff here. This is called pop. Taking off a board. Look at that pop. Bang off the water. Riding that hillside edge, upwind, and what a landing. That was an unbelievable KGB. This could be massive, Baz.
Yeah, I'm always so surprised by how stable she is in the air. Look at that, a 9.13 for that KGB. Is another 9 for Michele Sol. Will she have 4 9s in her total score? Lewis, what do you reckon?
I think she's on for it. She's really up for this here. She wants to show everyone that she's world champion for a reason.
Exactly.
Bagnoli's going to have to step this up now if she even wants to think about challenging her. She comes in on the inside, Bagnoli. Not the best takeoff for her, unfortunately. That's going to be a very low score and won't ideally be in her 4 tricks. Just didn't get such an aggressive edge. Watch this edge just not take off there. Possibly a bit of chop interfered. And these takeoffs play such a big part in these moves. 1.17, that's really a no score for her, unfortunately.
Yeah, as you can see, a lot of people here on the beach in front of Douro Beach, the hotel that is hosting this World Kiteboarding Championships. Great conditions here on the ocean. We are waiting for the 4th trick attempt of Rosa.
Nice takeoff. Oh, just misses the bar on that slim chance, unfortunately. There she had the leash wrapped around her arm there. I think she was indicating that to the beach. So these riders are actually using a leash which is still attached to their control bar. So in the event like you've just seen where they miss the control bar, watch here how we see a miss of the control bar. They don't lose the kite.
No. It's totally true. It would be very annoying to be losing your kite. You have to swim a lot. And there we see Pippa van Eersel. Will she lose the control bar? And she grabs it. 3-1-3.
Safe, yes. Playing it safe then, Pippa van Eersel there, making sure she gets her 4th trick score on the board. So experienced already in such a short time. Van Eersel would have done the math, as these riders are doing on the fly, and she knew that if she could secure a nice 4th trick there, with just a 3-1-3, it's not going to be massive this. She will know that she can build now. It's going to be in around the 5s, I think, somewhere there. Yeah, 5.17 for Van Eersel, who goes into 2nd. She's got 3 more trick attempts to really ramp it up and make an acceleration towards the top spots. But definitely one thing these riders will be thinking in this 4-lady final is to make the podium. Make the podium top 3, and I think that's what we saw there, Baz.
Yeah, and I think Francesca Bagnoli is really looking for that first place, and of course Michaeli Sol looks pretty solid in there, but you never know. Everything can still happen with those scores from Bagnoli. Backside 3-on-3 scoring a 6, and here we see the small Michaeli Sol going for a Hinterberger up 5, but crashing.
There's that chop we spoke about, Baz, which is much more apparent on the way out as the waves are coming in against you. It comes quicker in succession rather than on the way in. And we see almost technically perfect there. She comes around here going for that last frontside 540 and just gets bounced onto the nose of the board, and that ocean sucks her down.
And we saw there in the background Pippa van Eersel with her hands up. She was cheering for Michaeli Sol to land that trick, and that's what I like in kiteboarding. Everybody is so close. They all cheer for each other and helping each other on the beach.
Looks very focused then, does Francesca Bagnoli. Is that a chance for things to change in this final of the ladies at the Super Kite? Round number 3, the finals of the World Kiteboarding Championships here at one of the homes of kiteboarding in Brazil. It's the Italian, currently ranked 2 on the tour. Can she make a charge for top spot? She sits in 3rd place after 4 tricks, but that's with one of her 4 tricks being a 1.17. That's the trick she'll be looking to replace, and no doubt about it, I think she'll be going for that Hintermobe again here, Baz. That was the move she scored so low on. Can she ride with a bit more power into this? Here she goes. The takeoff looks much better into this trick, and that's perfect, Baz.
What a great trick there. The Hinterberger mope. There we have everybody cheering on the beach, of course, for her. And here in the replay, as you can see, as Lewis was saying, strong takeoff there, going in that frontside 360 and landing it. Smile on her face, kind of claiming it here.
Yeah, and she was happy about that. 8.07, what a score for trick number 5 of Bagnoli.
That's an amazing score, and this is moving her up to 1st place again. So at the moment, Bagnoli has 4 proper scoring tricks to create a beautiful total score.
She's the only one so far who has got that. There's the slim chance for Miss Stefania Rosa. Again, doesn't quite get the takeoff to allow her the time. Very different technique with the slim to the other riders. Much more inverted than we see the other riders.
I would say the old school slim chance.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So here at the moment, Francesca Bagnoli is leading 28.4, followed by Michaeli Sol with only 3 tricks, 25.9. She has like a 7.579 and another 9. And here we see Pippa van Eersel, the young Dutch rider. There she goes again for that heart attack.
Doesn't quite get the height there. Almost looked like a wave came in as she went for the landing. If she could have scored that, she may well be pushing her last special. She's got KGBs in her as well. We're likely going to see one of them now. Is this starting to finding order here in the final? Here she goes for that backside 360 to finish off after that S-bend, and doesn't quite stick it, unfortunately, for Pippa van Eersel. But we go back to the current world champion, who still doesn't have 4 tricks. She won't be too bothered. She's the only rider that scored an 8 or above here, being in 2 9s already. So one must think here, Baz, if we see a big score from her now, it's going to be very difficult to catch her up in this final.
Yeah, that is totally true. So what is Michaeli Sol gonna do? She has a heart attack. She landed already a slim 5, a KGB. Is this gonna be a Hinterberger mope 5, or maybe a double Hinterberger mope?
Turning around, left foot forward, she'll ride towards the beach. No need for wetsuits here in Brazil. This water is so warm. They call it bath water.
She's gonna go do one more tag out, and she's on a 9-meter kite, and that means for her ideal competition conditions.
Working that kite up and down to generate the speed on the way out. Notice how the leash is to the left-hand side, pre-wrapped for her move. It's going to be a Hinter mode 5, Baz, and that was pretty nice.
What a big banger. Michaela Sol landing that Hinterberger Mob 5. The only girl that has been landing that in competition. There it is. Going immediately into that roll.
He just finds so much time in the air, Baz. He just gets in the air and then nearly all the time.
9.4! No way! That is amazing. Another 9. This is her third 9 in this Elite Women Final of the World Kiteboarding Championships here in Cambuco, Brazil. I am
flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted. Exactly, that's the word that I was looking for. So another 9 for Michaela Sol. What is Francesca Bagnoli going to do to make sure that she grabs first here in this final?
How can you respond to that? Is there a way? Here she goes. She's going for the KGB. Oh, just had to settle with a back to blind there. So missed out on that last backside 180 to make it a KGB, which really would have got a high score. Still going to score reasonably well, but just lacking the height to give her that extra time.
So at the moment, Michaela Sol has 4 scoring tricks, and she is at 35.3, and here 6.43 for Francesca Bagnoli. What is going to replace her backside 313 and will give her a little bit of a better score. Still very high score, total score as well for Francesca, 28.7. And here we have Estefania going for the S-band pass, unfortunately crashing her kite there, what means no scores for her.
Interestingly, Baz, to date this year, we haven't seen 4 9s from any of the ladies' riders, so that could still be on the cards. We see a replay from Rosa's, just gets round there nicely on the S-bend to blind, but just going back to that, we haven't seen Sol, even herself, get 4 scores in the 9, so we could see history here in Brazil. Kite change then from Pippa van Ursel, who looks like she's going up a size as well, Baz.
Yeah, great drone shot here from the competition area. And we see the Pippa van Ursel getting ready to perform her 6th trick attempt. She needs a big one, and there she gets a big heart attack attempt.
And bounces out of it. There might be a slight deduction on the landing, but it was so big and powered, Baz. This is her push, trying to get up to the 2nd position because she has the top 3 secured already with Rosa's 4th crack.
Look at the height.
Wow. With landings that heavy, sometimes you have to land that hard. What an explosion of a landing, but this is going to score well. They love that on the beach.
Yeah. This is amazing rider from the young Dutch rider Pippa van Ursel in her first final here of the World Kiteboarding Championships. And let's see what that heart attack attempt scored her there.
It's going to boot out her 4.33.
8.17. That's a big score there.
That puts her within range now of Bagnoli. That's going to put her up to around the 26, just 2 off 2nd place. It's become definitely a battle between 2nd and 3rd now, Baz. As this lady here, can she set history by getting 4 9s in a row? Not with this trick attempt, she can't, Baz.
She went for the double heart attack. 2 S-bends with a backside 360. Unfortunately crashing there for her. But as we said before, she has still 1 more trick attempt.
Wouldn't it be special if she could land? Just coming around here, kite was just a bit too high that she just got pulled away from her there. She couldn't keep close enough to the control bar. She's got 1 more trick attempt to make history there. We see a kite in the water there. Was that a trick attempt that we've just missed?
Yeah, that was Francesca Bagnoli.
Yeah, she was getting on with things there quickly.
This was Francesca Bagnoli. 7th trick attempt, so her last trick of the competition. At the moment, she is sitting in 2nd. Francesca Bagnoli is placed 2nd in this Elite Women Final here of the World Kiteboarding Championships. So it is up to Pippa van Ursel to maybe grab that 2nd place.
That's going to be the big moment in this. Unfortunately for Stefania Rosa, who you see next to Trick, here she is. She cannot finish any better than 4th, and unfortunately for her, will not be on the podium. But great result for her here. Remember, she came through the qualifiers. It was her first event of the year. So to even get into the elite was a great result, let alone make it so far as to come to 4th. So Brazilian rider will ride out for her last move.
Her last move, unfortunately, not able to get a better place than 4th, but still, she can be stoked with a 4th place here in the World Kiteboarding Championship. The best freestylers in the world, and unfortunately crashing her last move as well.
So the big moment coming up in this heat right this second now, and it is whether or not Pippa van Eersel from the Netherlands making her first final of the World Kiteboarding Championships. Can she move up from third to second? She's currently sitting on 26.57 to Bagnoli's 28.7. Bagnoli in second above her, the Italian. I think she's going to go for the KGB here. She works that kite up and down to generate power. Can she get the KGB here, which may well be enough? She chooses not to on that tack. She'll have 3 more tacks as she turns around onto her second tack. Will it be the KGB, Baz? I think it will be.
Yeah, I think she will go for that KGB. The KGB, if she lands that trick, that will be enough for her to grab second place here in her first final.
You can see her 4 scoring tricks there, the 6.13, the 7.1, the 5.17 and the 8.17. It's the 5.17 that she wants to replace. And a reminder, they have to be from different trick families, and a KGB will be from a different trick family as she rides out to sea now. It's going to go into a back roll rotation. It looks nice. This sod's on, Baz. Oh, she's missed the bar, unfortunately. So she's going to have to settle for third place, but I'm sure she'll be excited about that as Bagnoli breathed a sigh of relief on the beach and is secure with her second place. Good takeoff, Baz. It looked nice, but possibly the kite rose on the way up. These riders have to keep the kites low or thereabouts in order to create that slack to pass the bar. So it's going to be Mika Sol who's going to take this one here at the Super Kite in Brazil, the finals, the world champion. Just reminding everybody just why she's world champion.
Only 14 years old, and she won this elite women final of the World Kiteboarding Championships here in Combuco, Brazil. And there we have Francesca Bagnoli, super stoked with her second place. But we are still waiting for the last trick attempt of Michaela Sol. What is she going to show us? Is she going to show a trick that is going to tell the ladies, you guys are better, start training for next season because I'm ready?
Doesn't choose to trick there. Remember, no lady has scored 4 9s or above in a heat in 2019 or in history, I believe. Can she do that on her last move? The last move of the ladies here at the Super Kite. What a moment that would be, Baz.
This is a big moment, and here we see such a young rider, 14 years old, Michaela Sol. What is she going to do? Is she going to go again for that double heart attack? That will definitely give her another 9 if she lands that one. There she comes in.
Left foot forwards, concentrating, focus, about to unhook. Here she comes, taking off. Nice takeoff. Can she? Oh, no. She just can't find that magical moment to set history, but she will know that she is the world champion and that she's won the final event. What a heat score as well, Baz. Her heat scores before this year, this is well above her average of her heat scores throughout the entire year.
Yeah.
36 point something, so she'll be absolutely over the moon.
Great score here for Michaela Sol, and yeah, amazing rider. Has been riding very, very strong.
Nice scenes on the water as Francesca Bagnoli with the Italian flag. Very proud, riding out to sea.
And there we also have Michaela Sol with the Brazilian flag, of course, going out here. And grabbing fourth, it is Pippa van Eersel. Sorry, grabbing third is Pippa van Eersel. Her first final.
And she will be on the podium, the lady from the Netherlands. Commiserations to Estefania Rosa, who didn't quite make that, as we see these incredible scenes now as these riders really proud to represent their country in the sport of kiteboarding, which is, oh, the flag's come off there, Baz. Someone's going to have to hand her another. I'm sure they won't be in short supply of Brazilian flags on the beach.
I'm sure there are quite some flags around here. So yeah, this is the result. Michaela Sol, the world champion of 2018, is also winning this final here of the World Kiteboarding Championships in Combuco, Brazil. Amazing riding, 35.3 as a total score. Followed by Francesca Bagnoli from Italy, 28.7. And after that, it's Pippa van Eersel grabbing third.
Big character there, Fabio Ingrosso, the coach, who's played. Oh no, he's just taken the kite off her. No harness or anything, just takes it off her to give her a breather. And that must be a nice moment for them. There's Teresa Tabel from Denmark, for the blonde hair there, just taking the board for Francesca Bagnoli. And as you mentioned earlier, Baz, they're such a good team. These riders really supporting each other. There's the parents, proud parents of Mika, who must be so happy To do this in your home turf, on your home soil, I'm sure the crowd on the beach have absolutely loved that. They'll be partying and dancing to the samba beat late into the night tonight, Baz.
Exactly here, beautiful drone shot from the top. And we see Francesca grabbing second here, Italian rider who has been showing very, very consistent riding.
She'd be a bit unhappy she couldn't have a really top heat, but she's done her best. And I think second would have been the minimum she would have been happy with. Pippa van Ursel, again, a bit unhappy. She had a real chance to get second.
Yes.
As we're not far away from joining these riders on the beach for the interviews. But just going back to that, Van Ursel, she had one big chance there with that KGB to get second place. But genuinely, I think she must be stoked. She's going to stand there on the podium representing the Netherlands at her first final.
Definitely, it's her first year on the tour, on the full tour, and here we're seeing everybody stoked for the win, of course, from Michele Sol.
So many people. Oh, we're going to go to Gemma on the beach to speak to those ladies in the finals.
An amazing final from all you three ladies. I'm so proud of your riding. It was incredible. Pippa, come join us as well. Francesca, you're second place overall. How happy are you?
I'm super happy. I'm super happy that second step of the podium, and I was riding with these amazing girls, and they are awesome.
Fantastic job. Some words to all your Italian fans who are so happy and watching.
Oh, thank you guys. Grazie.
Congratulations. Well done, Francesca. Mika, 2018 world champion. How happy are you right now?
So stoked. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I've been training all year for this, and it's like finally come.
Did you final heat again?
Amazing. The conditions were really good, and they were all riding super well.
Fantastic. Well done, Mika, for you and 2018. Pippa, it was amazing. This is your first final with us. You did a heart attack. I mean, you run.
Super happy. I can't be more happy to join the final with those girls, and everybody was riding insane. So I'm really happy.
You're on the podium for your first.
I know, and I didn't realize until the last. I don't know. I didn't check the scores or whatever because I wanted to focus, and I was like, "You're on the podium." It's like, what?
Congratulations to all three of you. It was an incredible. Now we'll see you on the. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, three great winners. It's an amazing podium. And let's see who is in the men's final. Lewis.
Okay, 50% Brazilian. It's Anderson who's made his way through the qualifiers into the elite and set this one on fire by making it all the way up to the finals. Currently ranked number 2 is Aduri Corniel from the Dominican Republic. Liam Whaley from Spain, back from injury, has made his way to the finals. And there is Carlos Mario El Dio, the god, the Brazilian rider who's ranked number 1. The world champion completes our men's final setup.
Yeah, green flag is up. This means first trick is gonna happen. And it is Erik Andersson who is opening this elite men final here of the World Kiteboarding Championship in Kumbuka. Going for that grabbed KGB 5. Whoa. No way, what an opening. This
Unbelievable.
Is putting pressure on the other riders. Definitely my favorite rider here, Erik Andersson. Such a stylish rider. Look at that grab that he's adding there in a KGB 5, man. You need to have a lot of control there.
First trick as well, Baz. Not easy to be out there first trick in this one. Big moment for him, his first final, his first competition of the year, you know, and what a move to do that. This is a guy that knows his riding and trusts his riding, and that is a signature trick that we're seeing from him there. 8.67, huge.
Nice score there for that KGB 5 with a grab. The judges love that, 8.6. What is giving Andersson a good start. And now the young Dominican rider, Aduri Corniel, blasting off, but still canceling quickly because there is just somebody cruising through the competition area. So he will get another tag easily. So what is he going to set up? Is he going to go for the backside 317 that normally everybody opens with, or is he also immediately stepping up the game by knowing that probably a backside 317 is not going to be enough?
Can you believe it? A backside 317 isn't going to be enough. What Erik Andersson done there is really laid down a marker for these riders of 8.67. So Aduri Corniel Number 2 on the tour so far, the man from the Dominican Republic, carrying the family corneal name. Looks good for a backside 317 and gets, I suppose, what you'd consider to be a banker for these guys now, incredibly Baz, on the scoreboard.
Yeah, this is a standard trick you need to be able to do to be in the final. Look at this.
Rayleigh into a backside 720. Clean as a whistle, that one, Baz. If there would be a definition of that one in the dictionary, there would be a video of that. 8.43, good score. Here is Liam Whaley. The
high scoring score there for that backside 317. Probably because there was a lot of speed in the trick and also out on the landing and also the height he created. And there we have Liam Whaley from Spain, just coming back from an injury.
What's he going to start with here? Is he going to push it or is he going to settle with a backside 317 as well? Wouldn't be a bad shout. As yeah, I think that's very well pointed out, Baz. Only 0.24 separated from that move from Anderson and Corneal, and that KGB grabbed 5, you know, was technically much more advanced and clean. So I think maybe a bit unfortunate not to have scored higher, perhaps, with that KGB 5 for Anderson. But either way, 2 very good tricks from those riders. It's Liam Whaley with the blonde locks to ride out right foot forwards with the red board, black bindings, a little adjustment of the leash as he builds up speed now, building that edge, heading out to the northeast direction, unhooks. He's going for a backside 317 as well, but didn't get good speed into that. He'll be unhappy with that, Baz.
Yeah, he looked a little bit underpowered there, but this is happened also in, I think, round number 2. He crashed his first tricks, didn't really feel the heat yet, but I think he is such a strong competitor that he can repack himself and get back into this final.
Here goes the crowd, though, going nuts because they know up next is Carlos Mario. He started off with a backside 317 and 100% of his heat so far here in Brazil, Baz. So without doubt, I'd put my house on that. Bouncing to build the power. It's going to be a Rayleigh into a backside 7, I think. Here he goes. Uses the kicker. Yes, he. Oh no, he's changed it. He is
starting off heart attack 7. Boom! What a trick to start off. I think he is answering Eric Anderson with his KGB 7. Like, here you go. Let's put some heart attack 7s in here.
Let's go. Well, there's my stats out the window. Wow, what a landing. Starting off with a heart attack 7, which is his big move. Always scores high into the 8s, into the 9s. 9.5 and 9.5 that is huge.
That is huge. That is an insane score, yeah.
That's just an indicator that he has been controlling his heats on the way in here in Brazil. It's not that he didn't have that in the bag, he's just been controlling his way to the final. Eric Anderson just looks over his left shoulder. Bit of a rinse of the right hand in the water just to prepare for his move. He will wait until it's his turn.
Yeah, it is Eric Anderson's first competition of the year, the first World Kiteboarding Championships for him, and immediately in the final. This means like this guy has insane riding skills.
12.6 knots to 17.7 max here coming in Kubuko. It's on the lighter side, as you can see him working his kite up and down, building the rhythm, building the power as he looks to accelerate. There we go, bouncing the board a little bit to encourage that board speed up. The long, leggy Brazilian rider that's made his way through the qualifiers finds himself in the finals. Builds up speed toward the crowd. Unhooked. Going to be a slim 7 on the cards here. Baz just misses the bar. Unfortunately, as some of those locals don't realise, I think he's not going to score for that one, Baz, as he missed the control bar. Had he grabbed the loop, it still would have counted, considered to be part of the control bar, but he's missed the chicken loop just there.
For me, it looked like he wasn't that powered to perform a proper slim 7 there. No. So up next, it is Adori Corneal from the Dominican Republic. His first trick scored a 8.43. What was a backside 317. So I reckon he's going to come in left foot forward and going to perform that 319.
Yep, 319 or slim 9. And you mentioned there about the wind there, Baz, as well. These riders, some of them really do like to be powered. It helps to accelerate into the trick. So we're on the 15 to 19. It's just come up slightly for Aduri's turn here. Be pretty happy about that as he rides these RRD kite and board in towards the beach here as he builds power, accelerating. Here's the moment he's choosing somewhere to take off. He takes off into the slim 7 and sticks it clean, Baz. He will be happy about that. Currently ranked number 2 on the tour, the Olympic racing champion, able to show his skills here very well in the freestyle discipline, and sets up with a nice front roll into a front side 7. Slim 7. It's going to score most likely in the 8s. It does. 8.17 for Corniel, keeping the family name going. We've seen many Corniels over the years, and he is the up-and-comer. He's probably the highest up we've seen the Corniels for some time.
Definitely. So this extra 8 is moving him to first position here in this Elite Men final. And up next it is Liam Whaley, who started off with a crash, but we know what kind of tricks he has in his bag. And there he comes in, full speed, left foot forward on that F1 kite. Just coming back from an ankle injury.
He's not powered at all, as much as he'd like to be, but he's adjusted here.
Oh, crashing that Slim 7 there.
Gets a bounce out, unfortunately, on that, so he's going to be a bit unhappy about those first tricks. Definitely a rider that prefers to be more powered as Liam. Takeoff looked nice here, and just bounces out of that. Now, that wave in front perhaps could have impacted that. Definitely the shallower it gets, there's an effect where the actual rebound can push up off the ground. So unfortunately for Liam Whaley, he's not going to land that move, and it's going to be a tough rest of the heat. Although he has three crashes, and he tends to perform very well on pressure, as we know, Baz.
Yeah, and as you could see before, he was going for that Slim 7, Liam Whaley. And normally, if he is powered, he performs that trick with a grab. So let's see if Bebe is powered to perform another banger. There he goes, taking off, going for that Hinterberger Mope 7.
It's so easy for him, isn't it? It never looks challenging. They like it on the beach because he never looks like he's gone past second or third gear.
Is this going to be his second 9?
Unhooks, going into the Rayleigh with a front side 7.
Clean landing, and he's
it.
stoked with that.
He enjoyed it.
Here we see Michaeli Sol, the current world champion, only 14 years old. Just won the final of the Elite Women. And it is Carlos Mario back in first position here in the Elite Men.
Here's Anderson, though. He's crashed his last move, but solid 8.67 that we felt could have scored higher on his first move. Premier Sim 7 on the Canot. It's going to go for the 317, and quite equally
sticking it, yes.
as easy as Mario performing his tricks, and they enjoyed that one on the beach, that's for sure. Here's the rider that, remember, no ranking into this, has had to come up through the qualifiers, had to qualify to even be in this elite event, and he's just landed a sick trick there.
Yeah, this rider only has one kite. He only has a 13 meter. That's all what he rides. 7.57 there for that 317. And that was actually another 9 for Carlos Mario. So he has a Heart Attack 7 and a Hinterberger Mope 7, both scoring 9s.
And just as we had in the ladies, we have a possibility of history in this. We haven't had 4 9s, or 4 tricks in the 9s by a man all year. So this could be on. What a way that would be to finish the World Kiteboarding Championships final rounds in Kumbuko if Carlos Mario can do that. He still has some work to do, though. It's not all done yet. You have to land 4 solid tricks. These riders, he's done 3. He's nearly there. But these other riders still have a chance to perform 4 solid tricks. Even after their first 2, they could wipe those scores out nice and easily, as we see on your screens now. Aderi Corniel, 14.6 knots, max to 17.7 knots. That's about 20 miles per hour, those of you in miles per hour. It's 31 degrees here in the beautiful coast of Kumbuko, just north of Fortaleza on the...
And this is Aderi Corniel from the Dominican Republic, not finding the power he wants, so he's going to tag out again, going back upwind, taking his time. And I think it's very important to take your time in finals like this. You need to perform at the best of the best.
Take too much time, though, and you'll risk a yellow card from our head judge, who will deem that you've taken too long. 2 yellow cards in a heat, which will be a red, will deduct your highest trick score total, which half that score, in fact, which could be devastating. It could be enough to knock you down a few places. So we do have the yellow and red card system in place. There has been many a yellow and red handed out of this event, but with these guys so experienced, Baz, you'd be very surprised to see any yellow cards or bookings take place in this final.
That is true. And we see here Eric Anderson on the beach, getting ready to perform another amazing trick. But first is Deury Corniel from the Dominican Republic.
Good takeoff from him, nice and clean, pulling that bar back as far as he can into the wind to try and find tension after landing. You get that slack feeling in the kite. We'll see that again in the replay. Starting with a nice, decent rayleigh into the trick and then going for a frontside 720. Lands cleanly. There's the moment where he's pulling that bar and edging as hard as he can away from and into the wind. And it's a 7.83, which is a good score from Corniel.
Definitely a good score. I would say sort of base score for him for a quite easy trick.
But he'll be looking at the podium now. He knows Carlos Mario's really going crazy here and will be very hard to catch up. And if we do see some more nines from him, we're going to see that. Can he do that history moment where we get 4 nines? Here's this man, Liam Whaley. Could do with landing something now, so he just takes the pressure off slightly from his last 3 tricks. He sets up for the backside 3-1. Oh, he's lost
missing
the
it
bar.
again.
Missing the bar, Liam Whaley will be really unhappy, and you can see the emotion in him there. He punches downwards. He's now got it all to do because he's used up all of his 3 crashes, really, Baz. So what happened here?
Yeah, he takes off, going for that pass, but missing the bar. I think there's pressure on Liam. He's just coming back from an injury, and he wants to win. I think he is already very stoked to be in the final, but as you know, he just wants to win. These guys are not happy with 2nd or 3rd or 4th. They only want to be first.
Former world champion is Liam Whaley. He knows what it's like to be first, but this man here has widely become almost unbeatable. In fact, he hasn't lost a heat in over 3 years.
That is correct. It is Carlos Mario, Bebe from Kawipi, a beautiful lagoon, 7 kilometers downwind of Kombuko, where we have this competition here in front of Duro Beach Hotel. And as you can see, there are quite some people on the beach.
Even playing in the shore break, some of those kids.
So there he comes in. Our current world champion.
319 coming here, Baz, possibly. He's had a heart attack 7 and a Hintermobe 7. We haven't seen the simple Rayleigh tricks come in.
It's going to be a slim 7.
Yeah, slim 7.
Oh, landing it there,
nice
sticking it. Is this going to be another 9? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think that's going to score. I mean, with the level that this is up to now, it's going to be in the 8s, I imagine.
Yes.
But to get the 9s now, you almost need to be doing the 9s on the water. So here we go, the front side 7 after going into kind of a front roll and coming back down. Nice and clean, never looks worked hard at all. Stays dry throughout the heat usually.
Dry hair.
Yeah, dry does. Oh no, he got a bit in the face there at the end. Bit of spray in the face. As we go back to 8.07, I think that's a fair score.
Yeah, it is a fair
move.
score.
8 being a base layer for that move. As Anderson now comes out. He's got 2 tricks on the board so far. He needs nothing much to get into 2nd. It will be the first rider with 3 decent moves. Apart from Mario. Oh, lovely
Boom!
rotation. Look at that
Backside
rotation
2 on 7,
speed.
yes.
Going to score good here. And like we were just saying, we expect that to score very similar to what we just saw Carlos Mario's trick score. It's from the Rayleigh-based family. It's from the 720 rotation. It's very clean, so it should be slightly up from the 8 points base layer. Let's see how the judges look at this. Lovely rotation speed. It was clean as you like. Now, the kite position is the one thing we can't see there, which the judges can. That also impacts it. So 8.33. They did like that, the judges, and it's a good score from Anderson. Remember, one of these riders won't be standing on the podium, Baz, and right now it looks like that rider could be Liam Whaley. He's got it all to do as Deury Corniel sets up for a KGB 5.
Big one there.
That was a big one, dropping out of the sky. Big one, you say, Baz, because he dropped into that landing.
Exactly, Lewis. And I'm not sure how the judges are going to score this one, because at the end you can see his kite was in a pretty high position, so the points will not be fully for this KGB 5.
Yeah, we saw an 8.67 for a grab KGB 5, which is perfect from Anderson. So yeah, high 7s is probably, I think, a very fair score for that move. Difficult move that. We don't always see that one laid down. Liam Whaley here, the man that usually can deal with the pressure. He really has to respond here. He sets up, goes off the kicker, goes straight into a backside
beautiful
7.
rotation.
He is up for it. It's almost like, to me, Baz, he likes this pressure on himself.
So is he gonna come back all the way to the top? Look at this rotation. Beautiful, slacking the lines.
He had to
and
land
landing.
that, remember. These
Yeah.
riders get 7 trick attempts. Their 4 best scores count. And with a crash, a 2.8 and a crash on the cards already, he had to land that 8.53 then for that backside 317, which is the highest score for a backside 317 in this final.
That is totally true. And there we have Carlos Mario turning around. Previous trick was a slim 7. What is he going to perform now? Coming in, full speed. Left foot forward towards the crowd
Could be
here.
a 319 this, Baz, just looking at his scores and what's on here. He sets up, he won't have the time for that last 180, so he'll just settle for his 4th scoring trick, which will be in and around the 8 base layer score here. I think almost perfectly in 8. A dead 8 might be bang on the money here. You can see he might have been after that one more 180 to make it the 9, but didn't have time. So very sensible riding from the world champion just to get that 4th trick on the board and to push him right out in front. 7.83, so bit marked down perhaps maybe on the speed in and out of the trick and the kite position, Baz.
Yeah, that is correct. This is moving Bebe back to first position here in this heat. And here we see Anderson, who is able to grab second and even grab first place here. He needs a 9.84, and I would say it is possible if you look at his riding. Also, still dry hair, and I love to see that in finals.
Tense times then in this final of the Super Kite. Round number 3, it's the finals here. The world champion is in this heat and he's riding well. Here comes Eric Anderson, a future world champion perhaps in his first final, first competition of the year. Takes off, not the height for a big one, but unbelievable rotation speed allows him to land that Hintermobe 7. And that was, I'd never thought he had the time for that, Baz. It didn't look like he had such a huge takeoff, but he rotates so well.
It's all in the rotation. And there he goes, such a smooth and quick footwork again of Eric Anderson. Beautiful Hinterberger Mobe 7 there of Eric. 8.37 there. What gives him a second position at the moment, moving Aderi Cornell from the Dominican Republic into 3rd place.
And if you're looking carefully at the scores here, it scored 1.2 less, or sorry, 1.13 if you want to be exact, than Carlos Mario's Hintermobe 7. That was because of the speed in and out of the trick and the kite position and the landing. That extra power is what the judges are looking for, and they will deduct perhaps a point or a point and a half if they're not happy, which is what we saw there, Baz.
That is true. It is Aderi Cornell, the Olympic twin tip race champion. Let's see what he has to offer for us. He landed already in this heat a backside 317 and slim 7, a 317 and a KGB 5. So it's probably gonna be the 319 that he's gonna answer with.
He landed that so well and consistently over the course of this competition here, Baz. As he rides, he's going to go just in front of that wave there. Nice bit of flat water opens up. That's a man that's loading up, about to unhook physically from the kite. No, was unhappy about something there. Perhaps didn't find the wind was suitable. He'll then ride right foot forwards out, but he'll be very focused on that trick. So he's going to ride this right foot forward starboard tack out on that orange, black and white RRD kite. Most likely focusing, thinking about what he's going to do on the way in. Won't be tricking there for sure. So this is just, it looks back towards the ocean. Just have a look back to the seafront, just to look, see what's there. It's about finding somewhere to take off here. These riders aren't just taking off anywhere willy-nilly, Baz. They're taking off at the perfect place, and they're positioning themselves in front of waves or looking for a flat spot. Will he accelerate here? Yes, he will. He goes for it. He's going for the 319. It looks good.
Oh, yes!
Wow.
Beautiful 319 there from Aderi Cornell from the Dominican Republic here in the replay.
Could find himself in second after that. He needed an 8.38, and look at that. He got nice and airborne, and this one was never in doubt for me, Baz. Look at that controlled landing. What a moment that must feel.
Yeah.
What a look in his eyes there of, right, here we go. I'm going to make sure I try and do my best to get up there. Will he be able to catch up with Carlos Mario? I don't know, but an 8.93, a solid score, which will put him into second place so far after his 5th trick.
That's a great score there. Up next is Liam Whaley from Spain, coming in full speed. He is back in the game. He landed his backside 317, 8.53. So he's going to perform another trick to the left now. It's going to be his 5th trick. He cannot crash. If he crashes, he's unable to make it to the podium.
That's correct. So Never looks bothered though, does he? Will it be the Slim 7 that he tries? No.
Ooh.
Problem unhooking there, or just didn't feel it was cool. That kite's almost fell out of the sky, so real lull hits this kite. We have gusts in the wind sports, which are increases of wind, and we have lulls where the wind drops, and you saw right there a lull where the kite luffed and nearly fell out the sky. Great shot of his F1 blue leading edge kite there with a, I'd say that's green, Baz. Would you say that's green, that kite colour?
That's definitely green with blue.
Yeah, green and blue as he'll ride back in left foot forwards onto his third tack. Liam Whaley, as we remind you, is coming back from injury. This is his first event of the year. The former world champion has done superbly, battled his way, it has to be said, into this finals. Not the easier way round. He went through into round 2 rather than skipping into round 3 after that incredible 10 score from Alex Neto, which pushed him out on the last trick of the trick attempts in round number 1. But here he is looking focused, but very much needs to be, because he's got to land this, Baz.
He needs to land this trick because his...
Going to be right foot forwards then, I think. He's angry. He hasn't got the wind that he likes. 13 to 17 knots. So here's a moment to me, Baz, of a rider just furious with the conditions, I think. I think he's unhappy that they're not to his strength. He's not a light wind guy. He just must be thinking, right, just why couldn't you be a bit windier?
Yeah. He needs to have that wind in that 30-meter kite, and I'm sure he will find it on the way back. He's going to go for it. I think he wants that Slim 7 to count high.
I'm wondering if they've dished a yellow out here as well, because he is on more than his 4, unless there's a reason.
Let's see, there he comes in. I don't think he's bothered about the yellow card. He wants to stick this trick to make sure he...
has a chance. Has to land this Slim 7.
Boom! And he stumps
it.
What an insane landing there.
He's literally gone up the beach there. So it sounds like over the tannoy he has received the yellow, but there is such thing in sports as a good yellow to take, and that looked like a good yellow to take for me, Baz. Just bought himself some more time. Look at this. Look how close he was to those people, and he lands that cleanly. What a landing, riding it up the beach. Great action.
Good riding there from Liam Whaley. Beautiful Slim 7 there, a lot of speed in and speed out. 8.53, the same score as he had before for his backside 317.
And looking at my Wind Guru live here, Baz, that's what we're seeing, 10 to 15 knots now. So the wind really did come down. So that was very brave of Liam Whaley to actually go for that move, just suggesting to the judges there is still enough wind. You know, if these riders can't perform their moves, they will not be tricking. He had to land that. But we go back to Carlos Mario Bebe. Can he set history by scoring 4 or more 9s or above in a final or in any heat this year? He takes off, going for the heart attack 7. It's his big one.
Oh, nice one.
Interestingly, he's already scored on a heart attack 7.
It was a backside 317.
Oh, sorry, Baz.
And there he goes, backside 317. Strong takeoff there. Very good rotation. Landing clean.
Of course, he'd never be going for the same trick. This man knows exactly what trick categories to perform. He hasn't had a trick category from that one. He'll be looking to oust the 7.83 of 317, which he does. 8.47, which...
That gives him a total score of 35.04, and very closely followed by Ardori Cornell, 33.5. But still, Anderson is also in the game with 32.94, and he needs another trick.
That's how tough it is then to upgrade your scores if you're that good. So upgrading his total score by 0.64 there, pretty impressive stuff.
There he goes, Anderson, going out. The local rider here from Kombuko. Very technical and very stylish.
Oh, just goes over the back there as...
Heart attack 5 crash there. He can still afford actually a crash, but it is not the best moment to crash now. And it looked like also he didn't have that much speed.
No, so we're seeing here some really difficult wind conditions coming in. It's down to 12.16 And up to 16 max knots. So it's difficult for these riders to generate the power in and out of their tricks. Looks like he's setting up right foot forwards now. You see him pumping the board there for extra power. Aduri Corniel for the KGB 7! The KGB 7! So there is enough wind to perform the big tricks, Baz. And this man shakes the water off his hair, and that is a big moment in this heat as he looks to push on and upwards. Can he challenge Carlos Mario? It's the first KGB 7 I think we've had in this heat. It certainly is, and that's going to score massive. Good landing, held onto it as much as he could. Big scorer.
Definitely a big score, and let's see if he is advancing, or sorry, improving that KGB 5 score of 7.97.
Needed a 9.52 for first, Baz, and this, it could be up there. I don't know, maybe into the low 9s. It was a good move in these conditions, and that's what the judges have to remember, is they have to score relative to the current conditions. So showing that there's still enough wind there. It's a 9, a solid 9. So he's pushing Carlos Mario all the way as the current ranked #2 Olympic champion, Aduri Corniel. Here's Liam Whaley again, though. He'll be happy to be riding in a bit stronger wind now. Looks like he's riding right before it. Again, has to land this for any chance to be on the podium. How is he doing this? He just keeps on delivering under pressure, and it's over now for Liam Whaley. He doesn't get the takeoff that he requires. And unfortunately for Liam Whaley, he will not be able to finish on the podium, as there is no chance for him to complete 4 powered tricks. So unfortunate for Liam Whaley. It isn't the dream comeback, but in a way, he's got to the last 4.
I would say very, very strong comeback after such a massive injury on the ankle, and just going straight into the elite man final here of the World Kiteboarding Championships with these big names as well. Bebe in this heat, Aduri Corniel and Eric Anderson, who will be on the podium.
They will. There will be a 66% featuring Brazilians podium here in Kumbuka at the Super Kite. Here is Eric Anderson, the man that will be over the moon to know. And that's what they're saying on the beach there. Oh no, they're not. They're introducing Carlos Mario, who has a 9.5, a 9, an 8.07, 7.83 and an 8.47. The 7.83 being pushed down, as that will not be in his 4 tricks, as they're starting to realise, the locals now, that this has been a very strong result for the Brazilians. They're going to see 3 Brazilians in total on both podiums shared in Mikhaili Sol, Carlos Mario and Eric Anderson. Here is Carlos Mario in your screens with that green slingshot RPM, green and black kite. He will slow down now and edge away upwind, brings the kite back up and over 12 and starts a port tack left foot forwards and builds. He'll be performing this trick, I think, close to the beach. 12 to 15 knots coming in. It's very light here, it has to be said, Baz, but he'll be one that wants to finish this. 2 trick attempts left for him. Whether or not we're going to see 2 in the 9s, I don't know. I don't think the wind conditions are allowing those big scores now, Baz.
Well, we just saw a massive KGB 7 scoring a 9, so
this is true.
Probably the wind is allowing us to do some tricks. So we see here Carlos Mario setting up for his 6th trick attempt.
Working that kite up and down. There he goes. Unhooks. It's just a KGB 5 and manages to ride it. And notice how he had to really edge away in a reverse direction on his hillside there just to get tension back in the kite. That's the wind being like great back roll takeoff. There is the backside 5. And look here, he has to edge almost on the other tack to get that tension back in the kite. But it will score. It's not going to replace his 4 big scorers so far, though, Baz.
Yeah, it will definitely score, and it will not be one of his top 4 scores, probably. But Carlos Mario is in a good position here, scoring a 7.67. So it is.
There's your recap then of the scores so far. Very close between the top 3. And any one of those could still win it at the moment. That's how close it is. Whaley, unfortunately, out of this.
So at the moment, we are going to watch the last move from Eric Anderson. He needs to score a 9.68 to grab first. Is that possible? I would say he has the tricks in his pocket, but is he able to land it in this elite man final of the World Kiteboarding Championships here in Kumbuka, Brazil?
Looked like he was searching for somewhere to take off right foot forwards there, which indicates to me he may well be performing a starboard trick, although he's tacked very far out to sea there, Baz. You can just see on that shot just how much water is in between him and the judge's tower, perhaps giving himself a little adjustment on the D-power there, as it's 12 to 16 knots, just giving himself some more space to build up. Quick wipe of the brow as he enters in, the tall, stringy Brazilian in his first final. Knows he's got a podium place, but which place will it be, Baz? Rides towards the beach now.
To grab second, he needs to have a 9.17. There he goes, taking off.
Not super powerful.
Going for a slim 7.
Wow.
Nice down there.
That most likely is going to replace his 7.57317. But
Definitely.
Notice they're not flying in and out of these tricks as before. Wind isn't strong, but this is really about skill now to see who can perform these. Great takeoff. Great takeoff into the move. I think this is going to score really well, actually. From watching that replay, which the judges can see as well, they do get to see the replays. Let's see what it scores. Will it set up a chance for him to make his way up through the places in the last trick attempt? So that is his.
Will he stay in third, or is he moving to second? And Eric Andersson is finishing third here in the Elite Man Final of the World Kiteboarding Championships.
So unfortunately, it won't set up that chance for him. He's going to have to settle with third. Pretty good result. But this man here, Aderi Corniel, can he sneak first? He needs an 8.69, well within his ability here. Let's remind you, 50% of his scoring so far have been over 8.69. He scored an 8.93 for a 319, a 9 for a KGB 7. It's only the backside 317 and the slim 7 that haven't scored that. What are you thinking here, Baz? It's going to be a 9 in one form or the other. What do you want to gamble? Backside 317, 319 or a slim 9? I think it's going to be the slim 9 is on the cards.
I think he's going to go for 3-1-10.
Oh, okay. He's come. Wow, that's a big call.
I'm not sure. But that would be great to see. Because he needs 8.69.
He's coming in left foot forwards for this last trick.
Yeah.
He's right foot forwards now, but he's just building some speed. It's not going to be, as we just see him pass, Carlos Mario passes upwind, which gives him the space. He has priority here. He just waves to the other riders to acknowledge that they can't get out the way as easy as they would like in this wind. They're working their way back upwind.
I think, as you were saying before, he's probably going to go for that slim 9 to replace that slim 7 score, what scored at 8.17, and he needs 8.69 to grab first. Is Adori Corniel able to win this Elite Men Final? Let's see, there he comes in, full speed.
Is he going to give himself a chance? Remember, Mario still yet to go for his 7th trick, and he just raises his hand as if to say there's not enough wind for me, so it might be a good time to take a yellow here as he'll work his way back onto more than 4 tacks. Yellow could be issued from the judges. He won't care about that. It's the last competition and the last trick of the competition for him. He should take all the time he can as he works his way back out to sea. It's been difficult conditions here as we've seen the wind drop off. We've seen the wind increase yesterday up to 32 knots during some of the heat. So Aduri Corniel needs to build himself up for this. Judges may well be lenient on dishing out those yellow cards as well with these wind conditions, but he'll ride out to sea and it will be him, the ocean, the wind and his own mindset here in order to prepare. He's a man who looks happy. He knows he's currently in first, but he might push him here though, Aduri Corniel. A reminder, he will get to go again, Carlos Mario, to defend this or try and raise one of his trick scores. But this man here does need a big score. He needs an 8.69 to go into first with his last move.
And it is possible for him to score an 8.69. There he comes in.
He hasn't got the power. He hasn't got the power there, so he's just rinses the hands off the water. Possibly given a yellow, but doesn't care.
No. They're saying take your time, Adori Corniel. They are having a look at the wind conditions. So,
yeah, so judges do show you he's going right foot forwards now, interestingly, Baz, which looks like he might trick. Just pumping that board like a surfer would to keep the board planing.
Yeah.
Gives him that little bit of power more. He's pumping that board to try and find somewhere to trick. I don't think he's going to trick on this tack, though. I think he's just trying to start. Well, no, he is tricking. And it won't be a big move for him. So that's a shame to see that the conditions got so difficult at the end there that he could barely form a move. 12 to 15 knots, but in some ways that earlier high-scoring moves of Carlos Mario were always going to be hard to beat, and what a good time to do it when the wind was stronger at the start of the heat.
Definitely. So this means Aderi Cornell from the Dominican Republic is grabbing second place here in the Elite Man final of the World Kiteboarding Championships. And Carlos Mario,
He abandoned. Wow, this is very interesting. So they have abandoned the heat, Baz. Now,
this
that
is
has thrown a real spanner in the works, as we like to say now. So will they be resuming things on the last trick attempt?
So this means actually that the last trick attempt will be cancelled. So Eric Slim 7 will be taken off the scoreboard. That means that
he won't be happy about that.
All riders still have one more trick attempt, and I think Eric Anderson will be.
Yes, because he'll get a chance to score higher and potentially work as well. Well,
exactly.
Said Baz. So generally, the way that works then is that as we have to all have the same amount of trick attempts and complete that trick attempt round, if you like, that's what's happened with the wind there. So we now will go on hold, and this has got very interesting there. I think the right call, perhaps from the judges. He clearly couldn't perform his trick well there.
No.
Did he?
So Adori Cornell showed the judges that there wasn't enough wind to perform a proper trick there. So we are on the beach with Eric Anderson. So this means for Eric actually that he has the option to still grab second.
Yeah, he could even grab
even
first. Yeah, with a 9.68. So interesting scenes here at the climax of the World Kiteboarding Championships in Kumbuko. It's the Super Kite. We've had some epic action so far, or even insane action, you could say, over these last days here. What a beautiful week it's been here. Great weather, good wind. We've had action every day, and we're in the final now. And we've had an incredible moment where there just hasn't been enough wind suitable that the judges have decided to perform this last trick attempt of the riders. It's trick attempt number 7. And I think that was a great call, actually, from the judges, because this affects the result here. Any of these riders in the top 3 here, just bearing in mind Liam Whaley's out of this because he's crashed 4 times, any of these other 3 riders could potentially win this event off their last trick. So I really think that was a good, brave call from the judges. Could have easily pushed this through, but we want to see the best riders taking first, second and third respectively, as there's time for some photos on the beach there. Look at those guys getting involved there. There's always a great atmosphere around these kiteboarding events, Baz.
Yeah, that's totally true, Lewis. So I'm wondering what is happening at the moment. And I see here Adori Cornell riding
15.5 to 18 knots now, with a thumbs up from Adiri to say, yep, the wind's come back and I'm happy to go. So that was a very good shout from the head judge and race director. Olaf Van Tool would have been involved in this one as well. So we could be back on now. We will see the digital flags possibly go back green, and I think that was very sensible. 16 to 18 knots now, much more suitable and fair.
Will this be the moment that Adori Cornell is gonna win from the unbeatable Carlos Mario?
He's sitting on around his average for the year there, 35.04 Carlos Mario, and if we look at his actual overall average of the year, I think he's sitting on around that. Yeah, he's 35.09 is his average in Brazil, so he's really been consistent here. He had a bit of a drop, just 1.34 he was in Morocco, 34.5 average. Now, perhaps that was the rumours of his injury out there, as he'd started off so well in Turkey with higher score average. But that's not a bad average to have, is it, Baz?
Definitely not a bad.
If you're carrying an injury, 34.
So the one that's going to go first is going to be Eric Anderson.
And that is the flag we're looking to see changed. We're going to see that one go to a green and back on again. And it's really tense times down here. We know who's world champion, but we don't know in which position they're going to finish in this last event of the year. And this is what really makes a sportsman, is being able to stay focused and prepared, as we see Carlos Mario, who's, oh, he looks injured to me. What's happened there, Baz? He looks down to the water.
No, he's okay.
Is he okay?
He's just chilling in the water, cooling off. And we see Eric Anderson going out to check if the wind conditions are suitable again. We have Liam Whaley cruising in the box, and there also Carlos Mario, who is currently sitting here in first position of the Elite Men Final.
13 to 16 knots now on my Wind Guru Live as the beach look absolutely bamboozled, Baz, by what's going on here with this wind playing games in this final of the men. We've seen some great action in the ladies, completed fine. Mikhaili Sol again absolutely dominant. As we can hear over the PA system, the race director is announcing what will be happening here in these tense times in this final. We have
one more trick attempt for all these riders. As you can see, if you're watching the live scoreboard, the last trick attempt from Eric Anderson got taken off the board. So that means like he has one more attempt to grab first or second.
And in some cases, that can be frustrating when you have a decent move, but the other riders haven't completed theirs to make that full round. Oh, there's the yellow flag then. So 40 seconds till we go back into this one, Baz. That confirms that we are going to know the result of this one within the next 5 to 10 minutes.
That is solely true. So less than 30 seconds before we go back into sequence.
Exciting stuff here at the World Kiteboarding Championships.
And Eric will be the one that is going to do the first trick, as he's the one on top here on the sequence.
That's true. And riders further down in the sequence, as we've said, get the benefit of knowing the score. So Carlos Mario will be the person that can make, the last person that can make a difference in this heat. The other riders will just have to hope and wait after their trick scores. But as just I was saying there, this man unusually unhappy to have a slim 7 knocked off of his previous trick attempt, this trick attempt here, number 7, due to light wind. So here he goes again. And what's he got to be looking at here, Baz, to get a 9.17?
So he knows now what his slim 7 scored.
Yeah, this is
so
true.
That is a good one. So he knows just a slim 7 is not going to be enough.
Does he have a slim 9? It's definitely going to need something.
He has the slim 9 in his pocket. I know that. But this is going to be probably bigger than the slim 9. There it is, Eric Anderson going out for his last.
It could be out the Heart Attack family here, Baz, as well. We haven't seen that yet. And he's riding out looking powered as he goes for it. His Heart Attack 5 and just dropped out the sky, possibly that time. He's unhappy, that man on the beach, but at the end of the day, he's going to be on the podium, completing a 66% appearance from Brazilians on this final podium. But it won't be in second, unfortunately, for Eric Anderson, who will have to settle with third. There, just dropped out the sky, missed the bar.
Unfortunately, not landing that Heart Attack 5 there, or even wanted to go for 7 probably if he would have had enough height. So up next, it's Adari Cornell. So he is the one
that can make the difference.
That can definitely make the difference. He needs 8.69. Is he able to move himself up to second position? Sorry, first position. There he goes.
The slim 9. He can't.
It's a slim 7.
He can't land the slim 9, unfortunately, which is what he would need.
No.
He already had a slim 7 on the cards. It's going to be there or thereabouts, the same score. And they know now. They think it's all over. It's all over now, as he cannot just get the height there. Lovely slim 7, it has to be said. But he needed one more 180 degrees of rotation.
I think he just landed there on the back of the wave.
Yeah, that took half a meter off of his time to land. Liam Whaley goes for a consolation move here to add to his trick score. He's already had 4 crashes, or 3 crashes and a very low scoring slim 7. So what can he put on for the crowd? Can he put on something nice for the crowds here as he rides? I think it's going to be a grab front bi-mob. I don't know, just something nice as he finishes the count. He's going for the KGB. KGB 5. Nice to see him pushing his riding there. Didn't need to. He was in his position already, but just
definitely
KGB
didn't
5.
need to. But I think he just wanted to show that he's able to land those big tricks. There it is.
Nice replay, going into a back roll, then coming back round with a backside rotation, 540. Bit of a butt check, but he will ride for it. It's going to be the last trick attempt now of the event of the Super Kite, as we see El Dio, the god, Carlos Mario Bebe.
Yeah, we're looking at
7.67 for Liam Whaley.
Carlos Mario here taking off. Going for a backside 319!
Wow!
The only rider that I've seen this trick performed in competition. Insane.
Unbelievable. That is 2.5 rotations in a backside position. Just watch this. Try and work that out. There's 1, There's 2. There's the last 180. Bit of a butt check technically with the board bouncing out like there. That's not going to score much, but it is a backside 319, and they start to dance to the rhythm of the Samba Beach on the beach now. They know it's a 9.33. They have scored it well. They've respected the fact that it is a move that no one else can do. And that's a huge score. That's going to knock out his 8.07 and give him a massive score.
Yeah, and here you're looking at the world champion of the World Kiteboarding Championships.
You don't see this man show much emotion, but it's a moment now that he can enjoy. So much on his shoulders all the time, being the best in the world by quite some distance, and people are starting to try and push him, but he just keeps on replying. We saw perhaps an injury in Morocco, and still he won. Here he's congratulated by his fellow Brazilian, Eric Anderson, who's also on the podium. They'll both be really stoked. And what a moment it must be in your hometown, Baz, to have the Brazilian flag, the whole support from the beach. There can be no better moment in sports to win in your own backyard.
It is a beautiful win here for Carlos Mario, Bebe, and in second, Aderi Coniel, and in third, Eric Anderson from Kumbuco, Brazil. So this was an amazing final here of the elite men in Kumbuco. Here you see the guys very close to each other. Maybe a little kite tangle there.
Very close, actually. Too close for comfort, if you ask me, as they embrace on the water. Liam Whaley can appreciate that moment, the moment he knows himself, as well as winning events and being the champion. And that was nice to see that warm embrace from the European Spanish rider, Liam Whaley. There's a moment that he can share with just the wind gods and the ocean himself, Carlos Mario. The party starts now here on the beach at Douro Beach Hotel in Kumbuco, just north of Fortaleza. I think they're going to be in for a long night tonight, Baz.
This is going to be the night where Brazil is going crazy again with the big win for Carlos Mario Bebe.
Forget about the football, it's all about the kiteboarding in Brazil, as they represent very well with 2 riders in the men on the final podium, and on top of the podium in the ladies, a Brazilian as well. They've been absolutely brilliant here with plenty of riders representing the country, and it is the country which is known as one of the motherlands of the sport for freestyle. As the beach all gather around now, swarming Carlos Mario, who is a superstar around the world, especially in these parts. You can't go anywhere without seeing that man. And he's such a humble, nice guy, isn't he, Baz? There's no nicer guy.
Such a nice guy, and yeah, he is a true world champion. Super humble, and here he is on the shoulders of his brother and friend.
There's the kite that's been taking him everywhere, the Slingshot RPM, Slingshot, the brand that support him, that he's been with for quite some time now, and that board is held just high proudly as his tool, which has given him such joy over the years. And how many years are we going to see this guy at the top, Baz? It's been a domination now for what, 2 or 3 years, or even more, and this could go on a very long time. How old is he?
I'm not sure. I think he is around 20 years old. This is Bebe, the world champion. A lot of people gathering around.
Jubilant scenes on the beach in Brazil. It's a boiling hot day, 32 degrees down here. And there are your results of the final. Carlos Mario, 35.9, takes it from Corniel, 34.66. Couldn't find that big move at the end. Anderson, the Brazilian, 32.94. And Whaley has to settle with 24.73. Low score for him, but he didn't get those 4 big tricks on. Who's going to beat Carlos Mario and Mika Sol? We'll have to wait till next year, but from us here, it's goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks a lot for watching, and tune in next time.